y'all, welcome back from the transition. Y'all, my hair is very fine. I have a lot of hair, it's pretty thick, but my hair is very fine. So my mini twists are usually boneless, just as a disclaimer. So if you have fine hair and you're looking forward to see how it would look on fine hair, then I'm your example. So back during Vlogmas, I post Ask Me Questions on my Instagram and just a general Q&A that I was gonna do during Vlogmas, but I never did get to film it or get to it. The first question, let's start with the first one. What are your fitness goals and how is your mental overall? So I talked about this a little bit in not the previous video, but the video before this, my ins and outs. My primary fitness goal right now is to begin training like an athlete again. Realize that yes, strength training is cool, but that is not what my passion is in terms of fitness and everything. Like, don't get me wrong, I love lifting weights, doing all the things, but I realized that there are a lot more avenues that I could take in terms of my fitness route. I could be working on speed, agility, and quickness, being more intentional about training my core, so like doing sprints. I got into running like last year, so I really am serious about running 5K. I'm gonna make the girls want to run. Like, I'm trying to be running with Gunna. This SD card probably about to go out. To encompass what my actual fitness goals are, I will say just to begin at training like an athlete and fueling my body like an athlete, you know, taking supplements. I started back taking vitamin D. I have started creatine, which I also talked about in that video before too. And I also want to strengthen my lower body. I talked about how I had the issue with my hip flexor because I sit down all day. I'm really like into trying to correct my posture and just to have overall mobility. And I feel like doing athletic training will yield more mobility, like balance, speed, agility, training my core, strengthening my core so that I can get those muscles back intact. Like, that is what I would say my primary fitness goal is for this year. And in terms for events and stuff, I really want to do the high rocks this year. Mind you, it's nothing that I've ever wanted to do in the past before. I didn't really even know what the high rocks was for real. I hope I'm saying it correctly. I really didn't know what it was, but I think because I started seeing more representation on TikTok and my friend brought it to my attention, it's like, I've been seeing people do these and, you know, they're not like super athletic or anything crazy like that. They don't play like professional sports. It's just like regular people doing this, and like, it's so emotional watching the videos. And yeah, like after watching it, I really just want to challenge myself when it comes to my fitness, because I feel like that's what I'm driven by. I'm driven by competition and just being able to compete with myself and to put myself in that position. I think it would be a really great achievement in terms of my fitness goals. And I am I'm manifesting it. Today is what, January 20th. I am finishing this personal trainer certification before February the 1st, manifesting it. So outside of just my personal fitness goals, I want to get into online coaching, really just one-on-one client training. I've always had a passion for physical activity in general, especially once I was learning about it in public health. And I really just want to help other people, especially like Black women in the South, become more active and find more ways to be more active rather than, you know, what we seeing on social media every day, and just helping people find their passion for what their fitness should be. Like right now, I haven't really been given too much, I guess, fitness advice on my social media platforms, just because I want to certify it and just make sure that everything that I'm saying is accurate, and you know what I'm saying, not just out here just spitting whatever. Like, and even if I do give advice, I definitely research it and all of that. But yeah, I would feel a lot more comfortable and confident giving advice once I am certified, because it's so much that I have learned that I would have never thought about before, or just when it comes to like program building and all that other stuff. But I don't want to just be lifting weight 5 times a week like I was doing towards the end of the year. And I didn't know that I didn't want to do that until I did it. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean that that's not something that you may not want to do or whatever. But as time goes on and I start building up on my program, I will share more of my splits and my weekend workout, all that different stuff. And also calisthenics. I'm also starting calisthenics too, so I've been doing that as well, and it's been fun so far, along with kickboxing. And yeah, like I said, just challenging myself. My mental overall, honestly, I need to go to therapy. I can't even lie. So I have been like suffering grief and just grieving a parent the last about to be 3 years, and I have not been to therapy not once since then. And I make a lot of excuses for it, like, oh, I want to find somebody in person, or I want to find someone who looks like me, which I don't live in an area where there are a lot of people that look like me, so it's hard to find it. I feel like overall, you know, I'm able to get out of bed every day. You know, I don't give myself enough credit for the things that I am able to do, but at the same time, I feel like I haven't been grieving properly, I guess, and I feel like therapy would really be helpful for that, just because like what I went through was so unexpected. It's not like somebody was sick and we knew that it was gonna happen. Like, no, this was just something that just happened, and I still had to live my life, and I had just graduated college. Yeah, I'm just really trying to focus this year, just after some self-reflection, just really just trying to, I guess, become back familiar with the person that I was before grief and all of that. And I feel like I've isolated myself a lot. Yeah, just trying to get back to who I was prior to what happened to me 3 and 4 years ago. ago. So, okay, the next question. I want to start strength training, but I don't know where to start. Advice, please. Okay. I think if you want to start strength training, depending on how comfortable you are, you know what I'm saying, with going to the gym, lifting weights in general, I feel like if you have like done it before, you're somewhat familiar with the movements and stuff like that, I feel like you could probably get away with finding somebody reliable online, like TikTok, look at some workouts, look at how people build up their splits and everything, and kind of go from there. But if you have no idea about strength training and you feel like you need some assistance, I think that searching out a trainer or maybe even some type of online program would be helpful. I feel like just in terms of like safety, and it's just a lot of factors that go into strength training that I feel like a lot of people aren't aware of. And yeah, just to prevent the risk of injury and everything. Of course, you are participating at your own risk with a lot of things, but I feel like it's a lot of resources out now. Like you can find certified trainers online that have ebooks or whatever for their programs, or how I did the Solent app 6-week program. That was a really good resource, I feel like. I think actually outsourcing and finding a personal trainer would probably be the best option depending on how comfortable you are. But like I said, if you have looked at weights before, maybe you fell off, whatever the case may be, you may be able to just, you know what I'm saying, use online resources and look it up for yourself rather than having to go out and, you know what I'm saying, if you can't afford a personal trainer or whatnot. Another option, ooh, this is a good resource. The Nike training app is actually free. So if you download the Nike Training Club app, it's an app that I had got like back in 2022, 2021, I think. And they have different stuff on there from like yoga to calisthenics. They have like all types of different workouts on there. Apple Fitness also has like a set of workouts, but it's $9.99 a month. But the Nike Training app, I think that's a really good starting point because it actually builds it up for you and you can choose like where you want to go or what type of workouts you want to do or whatnot. And like I said, it's free. I hope it's still free. I haven't used it in a while. I think it's really good if you go to the gym and don't really know what to do. Okay, the next question was, how do you keep yourself from tiring out as the year progresses? And who ain't tired? When I saw that question, I was like, I don't know what kind of life y'all think I'm living, but baby, I'm tired. I be burnt out. I be tired. I mean, I go to bed every night, but I don't always go to bed each night feeling accomplished. I guess I feel like I put a lot of things off, especially in terms of like my content creation, or like I said, studying for my personal trainer. Like sometimes I just feel very burnt out and drained, especially just considering like the things that I've been going through these last few years, like feeling like I have to be there for everybody. And I feel like I have really been there for myself these last few years. Even though I take time to myself, like maybe bi-monthly, not like I should, but I want to get more intentional about doing that this year. When people say you can't pour from an empty cup, they are not lying when they say that. I feel like when you lose somebody, I feel like it's kind of built, I guess, instilled this anxiety in me that feels like I have to be there for every moment because you just never know when. But at the end of the day, it's like I can't keep living like that. So, but one thing that I definitely have become better with, like making strategies or like making better use of my time. And I really credit that to like reading Atomic Habits in 12-week year, like I said before. And that's not to say that your life is all about how productive you can be, all these other things. Like, I don't believe in it. I think being a good friend, being a good daughter, sister, cousin, whatever the case may be, is just as important as all the other things. But I want to get to a place where I can have myself disciplined, but also be able to balance my dreams and aspirations that I want without feeling the pressure, or I guess maybe FOMO a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, who ain't tired? But yeah, I am currently doing the 12-week year right now though. I have like a Notion template. I don't know if y'all have read that book before. I definitely recommend y'all read that book. It's a really good read. I guess I don't know what part to do next, y'all. Okay, maybe I should do this part. 10 out of 10 recommend reading Atomic Habits. Not Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits too. But the 12-week year, especially if you have a hard time like with procrastination, which that's me. I used to be the type, when I have a paper due, I'm writing the night before. I don't care if it's 5 pages, 10 pages, whatever the case may be. That was always me. And you know what I'm saying? It does transfer into like once you get into your career. And that's not to say like that I'm doing bad or whatnot, but it causes anxiety, it causes pressure, it causes you to just always move at a fast pace and everything. And yeah, that's not the way to operate, and that's not the type of life that I want to live for the rest of my life, always on edge and always jittery. And I found myself doing it. I would have to delete TikTok, delete social media whenever I found myself getting like that, because I feel like I was just getting constantly overstimulated. And anyway, I say all that to say is that I had to realize that my time was going to things that weren't valuable, even when I was around, like, you know what I'm saying, people that I love. Like if I'm scrolling on my phone, stuff like that, I just want to be more intentional about being present. And yeah, I feel like I got better at that last year. Even this year, still learning ways how to be more present, and that's by using my time properly and really making the best out of what I can, while also trying to chase my dreams at the same time, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do a couple more twists right here. I might finish off this section, and I'll get right back to y'all in the morning with the questions and everything. So good nights. Okay, y'all, welcome back to the barbershop. This is my third day of twisting my hair. Yes, it's been 3 days. Oh my god, did one come loose? Okay, yeah. But anyway, this is my third day with my hair. As you can see, I have this side done and then turn around to the back. Yeah, the back kind of big, so I'm probably gonna end up redoing it because the front is giving mini and the back is giving jumbo. So we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna continue. The Q&A is currently like 6:30 in the morning. I've been up since 4:30. I talked about before, like my 12-week year, I'm doing like time blocks. So I had a time block this morning, which was my strategic time block. So I did my editing for my video that's about to drop today. And I want to get into UGC content because I'm trying to make some money off the content that I create because I need a little side hustle right now. So I was making my UGC portfolio and I started drafting that up. And then now I'm about to wash my hair all before 8 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, back to the Q&A because y'all probably don't want to hear about it. Okay, this is more like dating advice. Advice for dating in your mid-20s or just your 20s in general. So my dating experience at the beginning of my 20s and really just in general up until now, like, has not been the best experience. Like, I've been in a toxic relationship, like the ones that everybody's telling you to leave alone and then you've not been there, done that. Piece of cake, whatever. I feel like as I started getting older and getting closer to the age of 25, like, I talk a lot about, like, you know, the frontal lobe developing and all of that, but I feel like I really felt that happening for me. I don't know if it's from me moving and being in a different environment that kind of, you know what I'm saying, expedited it too, of course, but it was just certain things that I was putting up with that I'm just like, bruh, like, why was I doing it to myself? Like, why? Like, did I hate myself? Yeah, and it's just now the standard is so different. And I think for dating in your mid-20s and in your 20s in general, for us, I think you really have to look at yourself and look at what you're putting out because that's what you're gonna attract. So if you don't really go anywhere or don't put yourself out there to go meet new people, so like I said in my previous video, if y'all go watch that, about like my hot takes or like my ins and outs, and I talked a little bit about, you know, like third places and stuff like that. I think that us in our age group in our 20s, we rely too much on meeting people through social media rather than meeting people organically and in person and having an actual conversation with somebody. It's kind of strange, it's kind of weird, and I feel like that's just the way that the world is going right now. Like, me and my mom was having a conversation about that the other day. Like, dating for us and our age group is not the same as it was for them in the 90s. My mom was in her 20s in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? You go up to somebody, ask for their phone number or whatnot, but nowadays, like, oh, let me get your Instagram, let me get your Snapchat, like, you want to see my pictures and all that first, or people only feel comfortable enough to reach out to you online. And I don't know, I feel like I said, we need to be more social, we need to talk to people more, we need to go to other places besides just work and home. Even then, depending on the type of person that you want, you need to go to the places that align with the type of person that you want to be in a relationship with. Like, for example, when people get to going on about, you know, should you approach people at the gym, all that, you know what I'm saying, all that discourse, whatnot, I low-key be quiet because me personally, if I were out here trying to, you know what I'm saying, ready to date, wanted to find somebody who had similar interests as me, I think I would more likely find someone that's in the gym, that's, you know what I'm saying, if you want someone who takes care of themselves, that's the place to go right there. It is a way to do it. I think people just don't know how to talk to people these days, and that's why it's such an issue. Like, men don't know how to approach women like properly without it being weird, because like I've had instances like that before. And one time me and my friend were in the gym and this dude was making content or whatever, and he was just like, do you think men should approach women in the gym or whatever? And we was like, you know what I'm saying, it's cool, but it's a way to do it. But I just say that to say, like, if you want somebody that takes care of themselves or that is fit or eats good, all the other stuff, you have to look in places, I feel, where you can see that if you want to meet somebody in person or whatever the case may be. So at the gym, yes. At the club, if your only time to approach somebody is at the club and then you want to complain because, oh, they don't eat right, or oh, they don't got a job, like, oh, all they want to do is get drunk and party on the weekends. And there's nothing wrong with meeting people at the club, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, having these other spaces to meet people is where you are likely to find someone of similar interest, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm kind of rambling, but I hope that makes sense. But that's just something that I thought about, especially with all the discourse of like approaching women and all of that when it comes to it. And really just the biggest advice in general is respecting yourself and treating yourself with the same respect that you want somebody to treat you. So don't expect somebody to wait on you hand and foot and do all these things for you when you can't even be disciplined with yourself, because other people, you know what I'm saying, other people see that or whatnot. And if you notice red flags at the beginning, like, they gonna stay red. If it's something that you don't like, you're not gonna like it long term. And yeah, that's just from my experience, that's just kind of how it's been. Like, things I may have noticed that I should have been like, okay, yeah, no, this ain't what I want, and this is how this will transpire into marriage or whatnot. Like, dead then. So yeah, that's my advice, I guess, for dating in your 20s. Another piece of advice, I feel like this goal is to, I think, being celibate and abstaining for however long, for even if it's just a period of time, I think it allows you to get to see a person, to get to know a person before you make, like, you know what I'm saying, that physical connection or whatever the case may be. I think that's important too. Like I said, not saying that you have to do that. There's no shame for not doing it, but I think it kind of allows you to weed out the losers, or kind of getting you to see through somebody's intentions versus like what they aren't or whatever. So yeah, and that's not saying you have to go out and tell everybody, hey, I'm abstaining, I'm celibate, or whatever the case, but just hold that negotiation with yourself. It gives you a chance to really know yourself and really to understand what you want. And I don't know how I forgot this one, but talk to different people. Like, don't go for the same type every single time. I don't know how it is for everybody else, but I know especially for us, it's like the stigma with dating, especially that's put on women, is like, just because you're dating somebody means, oh, now we in a talking stage, or oh, you sleeping with this person. No, the purpose of dating is to get to know people. That's literally it. And if you go and date somebody, they give you a little bit of attention, and the next thing you do, y'all getting in a relationship, doing all this stuff, and then later on you realize, like, hey, I really don't like this person like that, and I don't think this person is my type, because that used to be me. That is very important to do in the dating scene, because you're not gonna know what you like if you keep going for the same thing every single time, or the same type of person. Not put yourself in uncomfortable situations, but get comfortable with being uncomfortable in terms of, this person seems like a nice person, like, let's get to know each other, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and it's not the end of the world at the end of the day. The next question is advice for upgrading my life and focus on regaining autonomy after a toxic relationship. So advice for upgrading your life. I feel like I kind of talked about this in one of my other videos. One of the big things for me, I feel, that helped me to upgrade my life was to just finally choose me when it came to certain situations, like to cut off toxic people, cut off toxic relationships, whatever the case was. Like, and I think for me that was personally a game changer. And I feel like what putting yourself first looks like can be whether it's starting to take care of your health or getting a new job. Like, after I left a toxic situation, like, I went and got a new job. I moved to another state, like really just bossed up my life, and it was something that I had really wanted. And once I locked in and did it, everything just kind of, you know what I'm saying, I went through things, but everything was easy. Like, nothing was hard. And I feel like keeping God first in that, I know I talked about before how I feel like my relationship with God hasn't been the best as of lately, but during that time when I was like trying to upgrade my life, and I still am now, like I'm still working towards it. I can't even remember what I was saying. I dropped everything. Okay. But yes, during that time when I was upgrading my life and just trying to do better and be a better version of Jasmine and who I am as a person, I just had to become like really self-aware of the person that I was before, and really just recognizing, like, you know, your rights and wrongs in situations, or just a lot of self-reflection, if that makes sense. So if certain situations, like, I could have been like, okay, I could have been a better person in this situation, or I could have left this situation alone, or this person showed me this and all of that, but I don't really know where I'm going with this right now. But okay, yes, upgrading your life. I think switching up your environment is probably the biggest thing. So really look at what you're doing on a day-to-day basis and really seeing what are the things that are good for me and what are the things that aren't bringing any value to my life right now. Whether it's waking up first thing in the morning and getting on your phone, that's already setting the tone for the day, like raising anxiety. You consuming other people's lives than producing your own. I was guilty of that for a long time until I just started becoming aware of it. And I'm just like, dang, like this just ain't working. Like this is not it. Like, this is low-key depressing, and that's what it was. And I feel like it kept me in like a very stagnant state, and I was very complacent. And then I just started doing small things to switch up, you know, my environment. Another thing, maybe switching up your appearance, getting a haircut, doing something like that, getting a new piercing, like that. That would always work for me with a nice little refresh, restart. And you know, they say like your hair holds on the energy and all this other stuff. I mean, sometimes like it just works. Switching up your wardrobe, taking yourself out on solo dates, and really just getting to know yourself for a person that you are. It is vital for you, especially in your 20s, to understand who you are as a person, understand your strengths and your weaknesses and all of that. And just so nobody can't play with you, so nobody can't play in your face, whether it's like with a job or whatever the case may be. And I think just understanding your self-worth and knowing who you are at the end of the day and what you can bring to the table in any situation is really what's going to help more than anything. So, and to relate all that back to a toxic relationship, to be honest, if you were in a toxic relationship with somebody, they have no business having access to you. And yeah, out of sight, out of mind. So if you gotta delete them on all socials, unfollow them on social media, you will realize eventually that when you are in a toxic situation with somebody, it's because you are choosing to be. Because after that, you probably won't see that person again. You probably, especially if y'all don't run in the same circle, you won't see that person again. Y'all really won't cross paths like that. And yeah, it's just out of sight, out of mind for real. Take them off social media, delete their phone number, whatever it is you gotta do, because once you leave, it's nothing else to talk about. And you just just have to move forward with your life. And that's really it. That's just the whole consensus of it. Like moving forward, pretty much acting like a person doesn't exist, and that's what's gonna help you get to that next step, I feel like. Okay, y'all. So I'm on my last section of my hair. This is how it's looking right here so far. So these are a little bit, you know, minier or whatever. And as y'all can see, I have like my little curls on the end versus I'll show y'all the other side later. Okay, so the last question that I had to really think about this one. I actually had to look up some stuff to get an answer for this one. Was what are some self-care trends that I feel like are overrated? And me, I love me some little self-care. I consider me doing this protective style like self-care, honestly. So I really had to look that up to even see what are some trends that might not be on my algorithm that I'm not a fan of. So I went to Google or whatever, and one that really stood out to me was consumerist self-care. So basically what that is like people who overconsume and try to say it's in the name of like retail therapy. Mind you, I'm all for some retail therapy. I don't go shopping like very often as I would like to, but some people are over consumers, child. Doing that, all that overconsumption every time you feeling sad like you go shopping, you might have a problem, to be honest. And there's nothing wrong with getting nice things, but yeah, you might have a problem if every single time you buy loads and loads of stuff that's useless or you can't really use like that. Yeah, that might be an issue. Another one that I thought was a good one was performative self-love. So people be like, oh, I just take care of myself, I love myself, all this other stuff, which kind of comes off, you know what I'm saying, it sounds good, but really I feel like it's rooted in the reasons that we have such an individualistic society right now, because everybody all about themselves rather than being about other people. And I kind of talked about that too before in my other video about like, especially with going to the gym, like people think about only themselves when they go there, but we surrounded by other people in there every single day that's going through things. Just like the other day I was in the gym, I went into the locker room and it was a girl on the phone with her sister talking about, obviously somebody had just died. I think their grandpa had passed away, and I could, you know what I'm saying, obviously hear their conversation or whatnot. And it's just like, it's just stuff like that, people going through their own thing, bro. And even though you are there, you know what I'm saying, take care of yourself in the gym, whatever the case may be, is other people that's going through other things. So yeah, it's only so much self-care you can do when there's other people that exist in this world. Like, and there's nothing wrong with just saying hey or smiling at somebody. Like, everybody not out to get you. I feel like TikTok and all this stuff, seeing all the hate comments and all these other things kind of make people feel like to be ashamed for trying or be. Okay, my SD card went out, but yeah, like I was saying, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the people who are so self-absorbed and it's like me, if it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, if it's not good for me, or if it's not, oh, how do I say it without it kind of sounding contradictory? Everything, if it's not coming easy, then it's not meant for me, or that type of thing. Like, I feel like that kind of thing. So yeah, because everything not gonna come easy. There's a lot of things that I want right now, even though some things have come easy for me, everything not is not gonna be like that. So yeah, the performative self-love, all this other stuff, yeah, I feel like that's another, yeah, self-care or whatever. This one is kind of practical, whatever, like just everyday basis. But getting your nails done, bro, I hate getting my nails done. I hate it. Like, if I could just teleport and just have something done, it would be my nails. Now mind you, I love actually having my nails done. I love having color and all that on my nails. Actually getting my nails done, like, no. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, actually getting my nails done, it's a no for me, dog. Yeah, I actually bought like a kit on Amazon to like actually be able to do my nails at home. And I had them done when I was doing this video the other day, but one of them had started falling off. So I just popped all of them off, and it's just like builder gel. I didn't do like the gel X nails like a lot of people do nowadays, but I wouldn't mind it. But doing my own nails, I kind of enjoy that. It's pretty fun. But when I go to the nail salon, I like to get designs and all this other extra stuff, which takes a long time. And I really just hate sitting there genuinely. So yeah, if I don't have to get it done, I usually don't, but I do enjoy having my nails done, but whatever. And it's just overly expensive now these days. Like, getting your nails done is so expensive, and then people had a nerve that had these high standards like, oh, you ain't got your nails and toes done, you broke. Like, bro, yeah, no. No, thank you. But yeah, nails is overrated for me. But just because I just hate sitting there. But once it get done, you know what I'm saying, real cute. I love click-clacking on the keyboard, typing on my phone, doing all of that. But other than that, Okay, y'all, we finishing up this last twist. I feel like I'm channeling my inner, I have a man who loves me, the courage to love. She the mini twist queen, honey. Was rocking the mini twist even for the wedding. This is how we looking, y'all. Real boneless, real thin and skinny, but it's cool. So like the ones in the front, I did them smaller. And this is what I was saying earlier. Y'all see how thin and flimsy like the blonde side look? I just wanna, yeah. And honestly, I came to the conclusion that I am gonna cut my hair. So probably next month. And yeah, I'm cutting this blonde out. And even though I wanna grow my hair to waist length, like, I feel like it's just not very progressive for me to just keep holding on to these couple of inches. I don't even know how long it is. I can go measure it and see. But I plan on doing a length check for this video, which I meant to do at the beginning. Forgot to, sorry. But I can still do it with my little tape measure just to get an estimate of about how long my hair has grown these last few months. So let me go grab that. I don't know what style I'm gonna wear my twists in, but they kind of crunchy right now because of the mousse and all of that. But let y'all see how they're looking at the back. Like I said, I'm probably gonna redo the back just because they are bigger compared to the front of my head. Yeah, child, look like I'm finna go to the family reunion with my new man.
How you doing?
And yeah, even this part right here, like I said, this part is hiked up at the back, and I think it's just because my crown was shorter than the rest of my hair, probably from when I had my bangs from my curly cut. I just want to get my hair to an even state to where it can all grow out evenly. So the highest point of the blonde on my hair is about 7.5 to 8 inches long, about where it's at. So I would be cutting off a good bit, I ain't gonna lie. I'll be cutting off about 8 inches pretty much. To be honest, it will be okay. My hair now, my hair was about this length when I cut it in April. So obviously it's been growing because now in these twists, it's at that same length. I'm gonna see how long I can pull one. So my hair was probably about right here when I cut it. Maybe a little up a little bit, but whatever. Hold on, let me go down a little bit. Okay, so it's at about 7 inches. I'm gonna pull it to the front so y'all can see. So like I said, I probably got my hair cut around like right here. So if I pull this piece down, it's about like 6.5 to 7 inches. So from April to now in January, my hair has grown about 6 to 7 inches, which is kind of crazy because I didn't think it was growing at that rate. Your hair grows about 1/2 inch every month. So that means my hair is exceeding that because it hasn't even been 12 months yet, because by that, your hair will grow 6 inches within a year. So I still got like 2 months left. So my little waist length might be a little pop. My hair might grow, you know what I'm saying, at least mid back. That's the length that I put for myself. So if I cut my hair about up here, and let's say it grows about 8 inches in a year, so I might can get it about right there, close to within the next year or so. But anyway, this is the end of this video. Y'all already know, if you made it to the end of the video and you're not subscribed to me, then guess what? Exactly. So go ahead and like, subscribe to this video. Follow me on my socials, TikTok, Instagram. They'll be in the description box. So yeah, thank y'all for watching this video today. Y'all go do some mini twists. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep these in, so